to present us the CollMi project, we invite to the pulpit David Aveiro from ARDITI.
Good morning, everyone. I am a researcher at ARDITI and also teacher at the University of Madeira. And in my role as a researcher, I'll be presenting a bit of what we're doing here with FIWARE technologies in the CollMi project or experience. It's an abbreviation for Collaborative Microhubs. This project comes, or this experience comes in the context of a H2020 European project called I4Trust. In this presentation, I will be speaking a bit about the I4Trust project itself, the consortium, and several aspects of the CollMi experience, and also the open call, the second open call this project opened for new opportunities and experiences like the one we are doing now. So the I4Trust project is all about data spaces so that there can be effective and trusted data sharing between different stakeholders. The idea is to drive the development of new services around data value chains across multiple industries. The idea is to have tools, education, and initial funding for experiences and creation of data spaces so that there can be effective data sharing between different partners, companies, etc. And the idea is that there can be the emergence of collaborative SMEs, ecosystems, and also digital innovation hubs. The network of digital innovation hubs that is being created can also support the enabling of these data spaces. So the I4Trust consortium that is leading this H2020 project is formed by the FIWARE Foundation, which is the main actor, or partner that also is the reason for us being here today in this FIWARE camp. Also the iShare initiative and also the funding box. I'll introduce briefly each of them. So FIWARE Foundation was established by European industry for driving the definition and encouraging the adoption of open standards in IoT-enabled smart services. The idea is that people can rapidly and fast time to market build and develop intelligent solutions in multiple fields of activity or business. So the FIWARE technologies, FIWARE is itself a framework or a set of components, open source components, and all of them integrated that can really accelerate the time to market of digital solutions. The iShare initiative is created by different international partners in the logistics area. It started in the Netherlands. And the idea is that there can be in logistics chains and value chains sovereignty and confidence in data sharing between different partners. So it's basically a set of standards and also technology. The idea is that stakeholders can have a uniform set of agreements or schemes between them, so in terms of data schemes and also access and sharing between the companies. So in practice, a set of operational agreements and organizational agreements. And it enables the management of the different information entities involved, also that data can be shared with security and trust, also controls and the definition of policies. And there are basically a set of satellites or servers that can validate in a certain network of patterns different policies and different access control authorization to data. And then the funding box is an entity and a platform that allows communication and sharing of technical knowledge and opportunities. It's a platform that allows the promotion of funding for innovation, also accelerate the access to finance, create and promote knowledge and networking ecosystems in different areas, and ensure investment security. They have a huge infrastructure, administrative infrastructure, which in this case, in the context of I4Trust project, one of the roles they have is providing all the infrastructure and support for the open calls that resulted in these experiments. The project I'm presenting, CollMi, came in the context of the first call of the iForTrust project, in which 226 SMEs run for the call, together with 42 digital innovation hubs. So this was the total set of companies. So it's not the total of consortiums that went. If I'm not mistaken, about 60, right? Around 60 consortiums divided in this number of companies and digital innovation hubs. And out of these many proposals, only 13 were selected for funding in these different teams, agri-food, etc. And our project CollMi is in the field of smart logistics. So what is exactly CollMi, or Collaborative Logistics Microhub? So what is the problem being addressed by this experiment? It's all about last mile delivery. The last mile delivery is basically when the express delivery companies are delivering packages door to door. And today, with the increased demand created by the booming of e-commerce activity, this last leg of package delivery is typically the one that costs more. For a different number of reasons, since the distance between the warehouse and the receiver's doorstep, also the highly manual type of work involved, and also in terms of environment, it's the most impactful part of the delivery process, in terms both in traffic, also in terms of pollution, and even also accidents. To address this problem, we propose this concept of a collaborative logistics microhub. So in a summarized way, we can say that the microhub articulates the local last mile delivery and freight forwarders resources so that they can offer a combined and much more efficient solution for the last mile delivery phase. So any leg of this last mile delivery phase or process can be done by any of the participant operators, which normally compete among themselves, but in the context of this microhub will cooperate. So it's a co-opetition situation. This allows that the participant operators can tackle many issues, but we highlight two dimensions in particular. One is the optimization of the logistics operations, where the hub allows them to maximize the usage of their collective resources, reduce the overall costs of deliveries, reduce the time consumers wait for their packages, and increase the frequency and range of deliveries in their covered area. So by sharing their resources, their vehicles, they can cover the same distances, the same deliveries, and optimizing less kilometers traveled, less fuel spent. So this leads to really a reduction in the environmental impact, which is really important in these days where climate change is getting worse and worse. However, the main challenge for realizing a collaborative logistics microhub is the trust between the different partners that normally compete among themselves. So how can they share data in a transparent and trustable way? So let's see how we will contribute to that. So the idea is that the data is shared, because if you need to share resources for the delivery, you have to share data for that. But that is done by guaranteeing the confidence and the trust between the participant operators and the collaborative microhub. So how is transparency guaranteed? So every operator will have access to be able to see and validate all relevant operational data using blockchain technology that provides a very high level of confidence about data integrity. So blockchain, for the ones that don't know, is the main platform where the crypto coins are based, but is also used as a distributed ledger technology or transparent and immutable database that can be shared between different partners. And so, since the data is transparent, immutable, this can enable the necessary trust between the partners. Regarding this availability of data, the solution that we will develop will guarantee that critical data is not dependent on a single point of failure and is always available for every operator to carry their activities independently. So everyone can know the whereabouts of their and only their packages by clients and retailers, or the ones that they are delivering for another partner of the microhub. Besides guaranteeing this trust and access between the hub partners, our solution also guarantees that also the final clients will get accurate information regarding deliveries while maintaining the information private to those with permission to access it. Finally, for the challenge to be viable, every participant must also have the same collective meaning of the exchange data. So our experiment guarantees that all participants have a collective semantic model of the data being shared among them. So they speak the same language in terms of the data, thanks to the standards that are used. So the consortium that integrates this experiment is led by Logimad. It's a logistics company here in Madeira that provides last mile delivery service. We also have the honor of counting with Logislink, the main logistics operator in Madeira Islands, which we have here, one of the administrators present today for a round table, Sergio Matos. Thanks for being present. Also have the company Transbag, another last mile delivery company. Wheezy, it's a retailer, web-based retailer that offers services to any company to sell goods online. So this e-commerce platform allows different retailers, will allow different retailers to use our technological platform. We also have a local SME, Loja do Chá, which sells different products related to tea, and they are a direct-to-consumer retailer selling mostly in Madeira, so they will serve as also a partner to test our platform. We also have the Disruptive Technologies company, which is specialized in blockchain technologies, is bringing that knowledge here to our consortium. And finally, the Smart Islands Hub, which I am representing here through ARDITI, which is the FIWARE iHub, or integrates a FIWARE iHub, and it's also an ambassador of the i4Trust project, and is participating in this consortium, and is contributing with know-how in FIWARE technologies for the implementation. So this image represents the distribution of participants in the experiment within the data space to be created. So the logistics operators own their own operational data, and the retailers own their delivery information. As such, they are all present in data owner space. The data provider role is taken by all the three logistics operators, where we will implement instance of the FIWARE context broker. They will provide to the data space the information of the packages to be delivered by the microhub that have been contracted to them. That data will be shared using a fourth context broker, shared between the operators and implemented in our Smart Islands Hub, where the other logistics operators and retailers will access the data depending on their applied access policies. So all the participants need to be identity providers so that their workers and collaborators and clients can have access to the data they should have. And also the iShare satellite that will be provided by us, the Smart Islands Hub, will provide the needed trust in the whole environment by validating all these identities and also the data access policies for all participants. So in this case, the iTrust technologies, which join both FiWARE components and iShare components, in this case the satellite, is allowing the creation, the governance of this data space. And also the blockchain component will help to notarize all data and make it available in a transparent and trustable way. So all transactions are recorded in a very coherent and trustable way. So we are, in terms of concrete components of FiWARE, we are using the Orion context broker for the context information of packages, the API umbrella, also the KeyRock identity manager, and the Canis major component, which is connecting to the blockchain framework to be used. In principle, we'll be using Ethereum testnet. So in terms of iShare, you're using the satellite to guarantee legitimate access to information. We might also use Elastria blockchain as an alternative. So this is regarding the CollMi project. Just to introduce that the CollMi experience. So we were one of the 13 experiments selected, but there will be a second opportunity, so that a second open call, and there will be space for 19 bottom-up experiments which can win this funding of up to 120,000 euros. So the idea is that consortiums apply for this open call with at least 3 SMEs and slightly bigger companies and 1 digital innovation hub. By the way, also larger companies which don't fit the slightly bigger company numbers as identified by European Union can participate in experiments. It's the case of Grupo Sousa, which is participating here in our project. They cannot have budget, but they can participate also in the experiments and win experience and knowledge in these new breakthrough technologies. I already said the budget this second call is giving for each consortium. So the idea is that if some consortium has some idea to somehow create a data space and share data in a trustable way, they can have this financial support where they will be not supervised, tutored in terms of refining the proposed use case definition for the experiment. They will have mentoring in terms of legal aspects, operational aspects, technical aspects also of the components, and all the support on IFR2S technologies. So the second call is open until September 12. So we as IFR2S ambassadors welcome any initiative and are here to also provide more information if needed. So this is all I had to share. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you.